It really impacted me when I learned that one family was rescued from sex trafficking, from bondage, for $60, the equivalent of $60. And I thought, here in America, if I had a big car, I would actually spend $60 on filling my car with gas. It hit me hard that we can actually do a lot as individuals. Human trafficking seems like such a large issue, such a large problem, and sometimes as individuals we feel like we can't do much. But every little person counts. Everything that you can do will count. Hi, I'm Joyce Lowe, and I am part of the Amazing Grace Human Trafficking Ministry. We started January of 2019. I first became interested in human trafficking work about 8 or 9 years ago when I went on a missions trip to Nicaragua to the House of Hope. They mostly worked with sex-trafficked women and children, and they did a lot of outreach. They would visit the brothels almost daily, inviting women to come visit them once a week to have fellowship, learn about the love of God, and learn about ways that they can escape their trafficking. Our mission at the Amazing Grace Human Trafficking Ministry is twofold. The first is to create and spread awareness that human trafficking exists and that it actually exists in our own communities. The second is to support established anti-trafficking organizations. One of the organizations that we love to support is Reclaim 13. For years after my missions trip, I was unable to find an organization in which to get myself plugged into to do some anti-trafficking work. I heard about Reclaim 13 through Grace Point Church because their founder, Cassandra Ma, was coming to speak here on a Saturday. I started out volunteering with them to help plan one of their big fundraisers, which is their 5K, their annual 5K. And now I am blessed to be able to work with some of the teenage victims. We've really tried to engage the Grace Point community in what we have done, and also the outside community. One of our projects we did with a group called New Name. New Name is special because they have a wedding boutique, which they use the funds to support their anti-trafficking efforts. This wedding boutique is filled with donations of wedding gowns from all sorts of people from everywhere. And what we did was we went to their warehouse to help sort out the wedding gowns because they had a large amount of donations.
Reclaim 13 is called Reclaim 13 because 13 has been quoted as the average age that a child is first run into trafficking, but even more important to us, 13 is just a really vulnerable age for children. When they first become a teenager, they start to break out and make decisions on their own. That is a time when they can be tricked, coerced, or manipulated into exploitation and trafficking. Reclaim 13 focuses on children who have been sexually exploited and trafficked, and we have a safe house for kids aged 10 to 17. In fact, we're going to receive our first 10-year-old next week. We also have a transitional program to help young women transitioning from 18 to 24 that are transitioning into kind of real-life living after the safe house. Then the third thing we do is we provide mentorship within the community for kids and adults that have been victims of sexual exploitation or trafficking. I've been involved in Reclaim 13 for 4 years, and I first met Joyce before she even started the Amazing Grace Human Trafficking Ministry. She was involved in a 5K, and she was super helpful in engaging the community and helping to get people to run and to raise awareness. The Grace Point community packed over 50 welcome care boxes that Reclaim 13 provides to our law enforcement partners. These boxes are used for a child that is recovered to provide her with everything from a pillow, sleeping bag, sometimes a teddy bear, a coloring book, something to do to help her not feel so alone and so scared when she first is recovered by law enforcement, and until one of our first responders can come and meet with her and help to get her to a safe place. I'd like to share a story with you about one of the girls that first came to Reclaim 13 when we opened our safe house. She was actually in juvenile detention because of what she had been through, and she was exploited when she was only 14 years old. When we met her, she was just about to turn 16, and we told her about our safe house and asked her if she was interested in coming, because kids do have a choice. And she said yes, she couldn't wait. And then at that point, we were just fundraising, trying to get the house open for the very first time. And so she didn't hear from us for a couple of months. And when we went back and said, we're opening the house, you can come, she said, I thought you forgot about me. And that is just the story of so many of these kids. They feel forgotten. They feel invisible. They feel like there is no hope. And she stayed with us for more than 2 years. She finished her high school degree. She was able to catch up. She started behind. She was able to catch up in her education. She made a plan of what she wanted to do. She has a desire still to become an EMT, but the first step of that plan was to complete her CNA training, which she did this year. She is found a safe family to live with and to go back to, and she is doing really well. She has a boyfriend who loves and cares for her. She's actually living with his family, and she got her first job. And also this year, she sent us a picture. She was so excited. She was able to purchase a car that she saved up for with her own money. And to see her come so far in such a short period of time is really the vision of what Reclaim 13 is all about. It's about helping children to transition and to live the life that we all want for our children. And we are so grateful that we've been able to be a part of her life, and she's just one of hundreds of girls and even boys that we have supported in our ministry. We want to help these kids to break free from these bonds and to live the life that God has really designed them for. Right now, here in our own community, there are children who feel they are alone, who feel there is no one there for them, who don't know that there is a God who loves them, who wants more for them than what they're experiencing. And prayer is one of the best ways that we can engage the one who can really change the cycle and break the cycle once and for all. One thing that is really unique to the COVID pandemic that has been occurring is when children are at home, if they're being exploited by a family member or a neighbor, they are more vulnerable. If they're being exploited online, they are more vulnerable. If they don't have supervision, they are more vulnerable. So in these unique times, we are seeing an increase in calls to our hotline. We are seeing an increase in children that are being exploited online that is just really unique to this time. If this issue is something that is really moving your heart, there are lots of ways that you can get involved. You can join the Amazing Grace Ministry right here in your church. You can volunteer directly at Reclaim 13. You can do a personal fundraiser in your home with your friends and families. And if you'd like to get involved in Reclaim 13, there's more information available on reclaim13.org. Go to the Get Involved tab and you can see some of the ways that you can join us.